Hello, everybody. Welcome to my conversation on the second episode of Nintan, one of my favorite of all time Thai BLs. Alright, so today I will just share a couple of thoughts I had about episode 2, talk about the plot a little bit, and uh, what I think about it. So, as I said, from this episode on, I began to just like, think that this episode was great, and everyone we've just had since then has been even better. So for me, this episode didn't let down. It's got a lot of fascinating, fun things that happened in it. So, for example, uh, it starts out with him telling the story of Tien and how he went to go and sign up for being a teacher, taking a Torfan spot. And he meets the director outside his house and tells him he wants to be a teacher, but the director tells him come back later, but then he needs help. And so he tells him to help him out. He helps him out. And then takes him in and gives him an interview. He tells him, "You're like a rich person. Why would you, a rich person like you, when you have all this money that you could get from your parents, why would you come and help out this village?" And then it cuts off without us hearing the reason, and we get to start seeing him in his village and what's going on. So it starts out with him waking up, leaving his house to go to school, and Pupa, the soldier, the one that they call Huana, which means leader in Thai, he's there to take him to school. I guess he didn't have time to get ready, and so he tells Pupa he needs to. Tien tells Pupa he needs like a place where he can get ready, and Pupa just like takes him, and he follows him, and he ends up at school in front of a bunch of students while he's brushing his teeth and still has toothpaste all over his mouth, and it's kind of funny. uh, yep. So then uh, he leaves him to teach the students. He doesn't really know what to teach because he's not prepared. It's his first time ever being a teacher, and he doesn't have appeared to have had any formal education in teaching. He's studying to be an engineering person, which is kind of interesting because most BL stories have a story about engineering while they're at school, but he's like taking a break and he's out in another village, but he is in engineering, and I think it's kind of interesting how so many BLs choose engineering as the uh, mode of study for people. So he doesn't know what to teach them, so he tells them to draw a picture of their families, and so they draw a picture of their families for him, and then one of the students gets bored, and they all leave. Before they're getting bored, he asks the soldier who's there, Yod or Yod, I don't remember. Yod is his name, I think, and tells him, "What do we do now?" And Yod tells him, "Well, if you don't have anything, let him go." And one of the students hears that, and he's bored, so he just gets up and leaves. And now Tien's a little flustered about what he can do to make his class more fun for his students, which I think is pretty kind of funny for me because I am a teacher and I did get educated, so I know what to do. But even knowing what to do, it's hard. So I could only imagine what it would be like to show up to a class with no experience whatsoever and try to make it fun for your students. So then Pupa comes, and Pupa sees that he uh, doesn't have any students, and so Pupa gets after him and like yells at him like, "What did you do? Why did all the students leave?" And he's like, "I don't know. They just left." And Pupa tells them, "Well, come with me and get your stuff." And first, Tien thinks he's telling him to go home because he was so bad and wasn't able to get their attention. But he's telling him he's gonna take him to get washed up and stuff. So he was asking for a shower, and Pupa leads him to believe that they don't have showers in the village, and everybody has to go wash in the river. So Pupa tricks him and takes him to the river, and he washes off there. And then finally, when they uh, get home, uh, he runs into Yod and tells Yod that he was getting his bathtub getting his shower in the river, and Yod tells him, "No, we don't do that. That's funny, but no." And then Pupa takes him to meet some of the villagers. The villagers tell him, give him some interesting foods to eat. I guess one of them is you'll just have to watch the episode and see. He's got some interesting things that he eats with those guys. And then after he meets the villagers, he goes home and they have the iconic mosquito net scene, I guess, is what I'm going to call it for this season, because there's a lot of episodes with Pupa and Tien just like kind of like staring at each other and having cute moments together, I guess you'd say. And that is the first one that I really noticed. Was when Pupa was helping Tien to set up his room and get his mosquito net put out. Um, then we get to see an interesting scene of Pupa playing one of his flutes that was given to him by Torfan. He plays it and then thinks of Tien. Then we get to see he goes to school again with Yod and then another soldier named Rung. They both take him there, and he wants to get his students excited. So when one of his students tells him he's boring, he decides he's going to make it fun. So he tells the students he's going to take them to the same river where Pupa had tricked him, and they go swimming in there. Unfortunately, one of the students almost drowns, and then Tien feels really bad about it. And so Pupa comes over, and they have an argument with each other. Um, then he thinks about the answer that he gave the director of the program at the beginning, and decides to stay instead of leave. So I wrote some notes, some pretty cool things that I was noticing, and uh, I didn't live in Chiang Mai, but I lived in Chiang Rai, where I guess actually the village scene is Pupan Dao is what it's called, is filmed actually in Chiang Rai. So it's kind of cool to listen to people talking and using the Northern Thai accent or language, the Northern Thai language dialect. I don't know what you call it, but it's pretty close to Thai, but it's got some differences in words that they pronounce differently, and it's different enough that they put subtitles in there so that people can understand everything. But um, some of the other cool things is Tien and his students give Pupa a nickname. They call him the Green Giant. And I'd noticed that he was calling him Green Giant throughout all of it, but I couldn't figure out why. And then that's where that came from. And then Tien in Thai means like wisdom, but Si Tien is like a coloring thing. So all of his students are calling him Si Tien instead of just Tien, and that's another cool thing. Then we have So they ate a lot of food in this episode, so I gotta talk about the Thai food that they ate that I really liked, and then some of the interesting things that they ate that sounds like maybe I could try it one time. Is they eat some pig brain. I never had that before, but it sounds like it might be interesting to try sometime because I've had a lot of interesting things. They made Thai omelets, and those are so good. So if you like omelets, you should try a Thai omelet. So with a Thai omelet, you add like soy sauce and fish sauce, maybe some kind of meat, and then maybe a couple of vegetables in with the egg, and then fry it. It's not that much different, but then you put it instead of just like eating it by itself like we do in America. You put it on rice, and then you can also put like spicy sauces on it and stuff, and it tastes pretty good. Another one they made was mama noodles, which is like the Thai version of ramen noodles. I thought it was interesting all of the product placements for drinks that are in the show, in this episode specifically, as well as in pretty much every BL. They always give drinks to the person they're falling in love with and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. All right, so uh, I really liked a lot of it, and I think the highlight of the episode was Tien made a mistake, right? He took the kid, and the kid swimming, and the kid almost drowned. Uh, and he about gives up, but he decides not to. And so, in the comment section, of course, if you want to let me know what highlights from this episode you liked and things were pretty cool, that would be cool to do as well. I'm now going to tell you some quotes that I really liked that were said in the show. So, when Poopa is at the doctor's office and the doctor is asking him about why is it that he decided to take Tien to school that morning when he didn't like take other people who came to the village to their jobs on the first day, and why he seemed to like care more about Tien than he had about other people. And Pupa responds, he finally the doctor tells him, "So do you think Tien will stay very long?" And something like that. And then Pupa responds, "A picky eater can't adjust. He won't last." So I thought that was pretty interesting way to think about it. For me, I definitely know a lot of picky eaters. I don't know how picky eating leads to being able to say that, but I think it's just more evidence of like I can't point out everything from the show. You just gotta watch it, but uh, definitely you can see Pupa is like building romantic tension with Tien a lot in this episode when they just meet each other. You know, it's also when Pupa takes Tien to his house after they meet the villagers. They have a fun little romantic tension kind of thing that they're saying with each other. Like Pupa, after they have their staring contest at each other and put the mosquito net up, Pupa says, "Go to bed early, or you'll see a ghost." And then Tien like responds, "Don't try to scare me. I don't get scared that easily," or whatever. And so, uh, I don't know. Some of these lines are cool, but you kind of have to see the show to get why they're so cool. All right, and then after Pupa said that the doctor was, I mean, that Tien was a picky eater and he wouldn't last. The doctor says, "Nobody wants this to happen." Oh no, wait, sorry. This is a different time. So he's talking to the doctor because they took the kid that almost drowned to the hospital, and Pupa was kind of insinuating that Tien didn't care about the students and was just like wasting his time here and just let those kind of things happen. But the doctor was kind of like trying to calm him down and tell him no, like nobody wants to see a kid drown. Nobody wants that to happen, and so stop beating up on Tien uh, for a mistake that he made. Yeah, sure. Like point out like that was a stupid decision to take the kids to go swimming, but he didn't want it to happen. Like it's not really his fault. Then Tien finally has his memory of what he told the person about why he wanted to be going to that village anyway, and he had this quote that he said. He said, "I almost died. I want to use this opportunity to do something for others." And then the director that he told that to responds, "Think about what you said today, and don't let yourself down." Because he's like, "You're gonna have a lot of tough things that happen while you're at this village. It's pretty remote. There's no electricity, no way to contact the outside world, and the villagers have to learn to trust you and all that. And it's not going to be easy. You gotta work for it." And yeah, so definitely proved to be true, especially now that his actions led to one of the students almost drowning. He's got a lot of work that he's going to have to do to build that confidence with the people there. All right, so next I have a quote from Pupa that I really liked. He said, "You have to start by learning to make a." Oh, sorry. Yeah, so this is like the extra scene at the end where they go back when Pupa brings him some mama noodles, and they're gonna make them or whatever. He had just eaten with the villagers, and Pupa, I guess, wants him to be more independent. So he says, "You can't always have someone to cook for you. You have to start by learning to make a fire." I think that's a pretty cool metaphor for life. You know, we all have things we don't know how to do, and sometimes it takes somebody who um, knows the ropes and how to do things to help us figure it out and help us get what we need to do done. And once you do that, like you start at the beginning and build up. And so he couldn't cook because he had lived a pretty rich lifestyle, but being in this village now, he was gonna learn, and Pupa was teaching him how to do it. And then uh, a funny line that they're gonna say throughout this whole thing. So like you'll see it quite a bit when you watch the show. Pupa asks him, "So what do you say when you get something from an older person?" And Pupa's like always telling him that, "What do you say? What do you say?" Like treating him like he's